The time is now 6:43 p.m. It's Saturday, November 1st. Halloween is just over, but the horrors and the creepiness and just the abominations and scary things happening all around the world continue. And I bought myself a ticket to go to the Queen Mary because it is the Halloween season, even though Halloween is over. And I like feeling scared. I like being scared by scary things and the stories of the Queen Mary and how people died there and whatnot. And if you don't know, the Queen Mary is a World War II era cruise liner that used to transport people. I think during the war it might have been converted to into the military, into the Navy, so that it would transport troops. And it is now a hotel. It's decommissioned on the port of Long Beach, and it's a beautiful ship, piece of history. And the cool thing is that because of the stories of the war and people that died there and the different accidents and stuff that occurred on the Queen Mary, year round, if I'm not mistaken, it's not just for the Halloween season, but year round they have a paranormal ship walk sort of tour that they offer. And I've been to one many years ago, I think back in like 2010. I'm going to see if I can record inside of the Queen Mary, although I have a feeling that because the stories and everything that they tell is all proprietary information, or it's, I don't know, they might not want me to record while I'm on the tour. But anyway, yeah, I'm excited. Oh, Jesus Christ. So it's about 9 p.m. now. It's the bottom of the 10th inning, and the Dodgers are tied 4-4. The Blue Jays are about to bat, and I don't know that I have any time to watch the ending because I have to be at the Queen Mary in an hour. Hopefully the Dodgers win. They might have lost by now. I don't hear anybody yelling over there, so... Oh, they're clapping. So things are good. Things are looking good. Anyway, good luck to the Dodgers. I mean, by the time this gets posted, it'll be too late and we'll have the results.
And they actually did win, and it was fucking epic.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Kirk bounces one up the middle. Pitch to the back. Over to first to beat the champ. You gotta knock him out. The Dodgers stand tall and win back-to-back titles.
So at this point, I was running late, and this is really embarrassing, but my camera corrupted most of my files, most of the recording from here to San Pedro. And I only managed to get this crash out moment of me because I missed my exit.
I mean, the view is nice, but I'm late. I shouldn't be here. What the fuck am I doing here? Why the fuck is that ramp closed, dude? It's exactly when you don't need things to go wrong, things just suddenly start fucking going wrong. At least the view is nice. Yeah, I am not on the right road.
I'm surprised I don't come to San Pedro more often, just given how beautiful it is, especially at night. Here I was going underneath this overpass, and boom, I'm hit with just the most beautiful sight with the lights and the smoke. And it's not something I do often, so you can probably imagine my frustration when I realized that just about 60 to 70% of all the footage that I recorded out here just ended up becoming corrupted somewhere along the way. I managed to get Insta360 on the line, and they told me it was something with my firmware update, but just look at this area. I need to get better footage out here. There are two connecting bridges between San Pedro and Long Beach, and I was going to cross both of them with my microphone magnetically attached under the bike the entire time, and I'm just so glad that it survived because I was nervous.
Look at you, little guy. You did so well. I'm so proud of you. Take a break.
And so I made it to the Queen Mary. I was late, but I was here, and that was enough.
This thing is sick. If I had not made it here late, I would have already been on the tour right now. They gave me the option to either stay and try and make it into the midnight one at 12, like literally 12 a.m., or I can try and get caught up with everybody that's already on there. But because it started at 10 and it's already like 10:30,
I'm too late. Like I'm not gonna lose out on 30 minutes of tour because of my fault, you know? I'm coming to you live from the future, and this is what's going on. I have so much footage of the Queen Mary, like just maybe an hour worth of just like random footage, you know, here and there. And I would stop by every little thing that I thought was interesting and I would talk about it. But instead of doing a 45-minute long video of just random things that I find interesting about the boat, I figured I'd do just like a little montage here of, yeah, the things I find interesting, just something short, you know, and sweet. And I could talk about the history of the boat, which I think is, for me, at least that's the most significant thing about this thing, is how it got there, you know, and what the hell is it even doing there now? So let's do that. Yeah, let's talk about it. So I'm reading this off of a script, so bear with me, but what you're seeing on screen right now is the beautiful ballroom that's in one of the main decks. The inception of the Queen Mary began in the late 1920s when the Cunard Line planned a new express liner designated hull number 534. However, construction didn't actually commence until December of 1930 in Scotland. The global economic collapse of the Great Depression forced the company to halt work just a year later in December 1931. The unfinished hull stood there for about 2 years until the British government intervened, providing a major loan to complete the vessel under one condition, that the Cunard Line merge with its rival, the White Star Line. The White Star Line, as you know, is most famous for its construction of the Titanic. This merge created the Cunard White Star in 1934, allowing construction to eventually resume, and the ship was launched in September of 1934 and officially named the Queen Mary by King George V. The finished ship measured over 1,000 feet long with the gross tonnage exceeding 81,000 tons, becoming one of the largest and fastest liners of its era. It captured the prestigious Blue Riband for the fastest transatlantic crossing in 1936 and again in 1938. However, its peacetime service was quickly curtailed by the onset of World War II, where the ship was requisitioned as a troop transport. It was stripped of all the luxuries that it had inside and painted battleship gray, nicknamed the Gray Ghost, due to its speed. The Queen Mary was essential to the Allied war effort, transporting over 810,000 troops by the end of the conflict, and even setting a world record of carrying over 16,500 people in a single crossing in 1943. After the war, the ship was refitted and returned to civilian passenger service until the rise of jet travel made ocean liners economically obsolete in the 1960s. So Cunard retired the Queen Mary in 1967, where she was then purchased by the city of Long Beach. Unfortunately, she was just too damn big to fit through the Panama Canal, so her final voyage was an 11,000-mile journey that required multiple stops for fuel, where she eventually arrived at Long Beach on December 9th, 1967. The ship has then gone a lot of a conversion process, transforming her into what she is now, which is a fixed hotel, a museum, and a tourist attraction, something that she will hopefully remain as till the end of her days. My understanding is that there was a time a few years ago where they were looking to potentially fully decommission her, or there was a fear that she would sink and, you know, maybe close her down permanently. But to my knowledge, as of right now, at least a few years ago, she was purchased by a new owner, and they are doing everything they can to keep her afloat and keep her going so that people can come check her out, which I think is cool. You know, the Queen Mary has been around since I was a kid, and not having her there, I think, would be such a sad day. You know, it's not like I go to the Queen Mary very often, but just every time I do go to Long Beach, I can see her in the distance, and it's just a part of my history as a human here in California. So hopefully she's there for a while, and I don't want to see her go. I'm terrible with goodbyes. I can't do goodbyes. They make me really sad. But I did continue to travel the boat, and I was just going down the hallways. It was really empty because it was nighttime. The Dark Harbor thing was going on because it was Halloween, and I didn't know that there were like haunted mazes in the lower decks of the ship going on. So it made for some interesting moments. There was a point where I was walking down some steps and I heard screaming and banging, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Turns out it was just some haunted mazes. And while there were a lot of people who attended the Dark Harbor, at least when I was done with my tour, everything had been closed down, which made for a pretty eerie, quiet scene. A part of me had completely forgotten that the Queen Mary is most active during the day. I was really excited about this tour because it's at night, and I think that makes it, at least for me, a little bit creepier. However, the fact that most of the shops and just about everything that there is to do during the day was closed kind of sucked. I was lucky enough that I had a large enough group of people on the tour with me that, I wasn't completely alone. But, so there was something a little bit not fun about seeing everything closed. I would have loved to have gone and check out some of the museums there.
So I just got out of these elevators, and this is why I'm going to have no battery life left. I just want to show you guys everything. Look at this. It's like a museum, except all the exhibits are empty. I have a feeling I should know them. British people. There is a computer here. Some cups. Looks like it's designed for events. But there's nothing here. This door's cracked. Oh, I don't think I'm supposed to be in here. Yeah, I don't think I'm supposed to be in here. I'm getting the full fucking experience. Is that a piano? I swear to God, if that piano starts playing itself. Yeah, let's get out of here. Oh, that's creepy. That's a mannequin. I don't even think you can really see much. It's really dark in here. The camera's probably not picking up a good amount of what's happening, but this place looks abandoned. It looks kind of like an exhibit, like some kind of a museum exhibit happens here, except everything's empty. These lights are on. Some trash. Yeah, I'm gonna get in trouble if I get caught here. I don't think I'm supposed to be here.
The Queen Mary was sold recently, within the last few years, if I'm not mistaken. And the last time I was here, there was just a different vibe to the tour. It was a lot more theatrical with fake ghost sightings and stuff that, even though we knew they were fake, I think made things a lot more fun.
Oh yeah, there it is. It's tea time in it, mate.
And since it's repurchasing, or since something changed, now the tour was just a bit more informative, and it's just literally just a tour, and there were no theatrics, which was a bit of a bummer. But I'm glad I still got to see the parts of the ship that I was most interested in seeing, including the boiler room, which I think is the creepiest because it's just massive. There's nothing there. They removed the boiler, so now it's just these two massive rooms. And just looking at the catwalks and everything in there, the engine room included, it's just crazy to me to think that at one point these halls and these rooms were filled with people, you know, working, yelling. A few people died, you know, in accidents and whatnot. And I think that's the most chilling part of the story of the Queen Mary, is just how freaking old it is.
Look at this telephone booth. Whoa. Should I step inside? There's a spider in the corner. What am I doing in here? This is cool. Time to leave.